Most people who are on a spiritual path don't realize that two major teachings actually clash. In this video, I will show you how the teachings of the Buddha and Abraham Hicks differ greatly. Yet, since both of them are valuable and important to our spiritual progress, I will explain to you when to use the one and when to use the other. In the end, I will share an invaluable truth and a trick to help you become at one with Source. Hi, my name is Aedith, and I'm the author of the book Soul Mission, the secret code in your horoscope that leads to a rewarding and fulfilling life. How the teachings of the Buddha and Abraham Hicks differ greatly. The Buddha was a prince who renounced his worldly riches to find a way to eliminate suffering. He found that suffering stems from a desire to be, have, or experience anything other than what presently is. He discovered happiness lies in the absence of desire. Abraham Hicks is a non-physical collective channeled by Esther Hicks, aiming to help people live in a state of unconditional joy. They teach that happiness can be found and should be sought within unhappy circumstances. So in this way, their teachings are similar. It is possible to find profound bliss amidst any situation. Outer circumstances may seem necessary to experience joy, but in fact, true joy can only be found within oneself. But then their teachings go separate ways. The Buddha goes on to renounce all worldly desires and attachments to worldly pleasures, while Abraham Hicks encourages worldly desires and pleasures. From when I was first introduced to Buddhism as a young teenager, I recognized the profound truth in its teachings. I started meditating and found bliss. Yet the fact that the Buddha left his wife and children to find enlightenment has always puzzled me, and even more so when he became a mother and subsequently a single mother. Having children is such an act of forward motion, of growth, that having no desires in life seems counterintuitive to the reason why we are on earth. I found that having desires and watching them come into existence brings joy and fulfillment, as well as enabling the world to grow and develop. When I found Abraham Hicks, I also found a profound truth in their teachings. I loved what they said about desires being a force that expands the universe. Yet the fact they make no distinction between types of desires has always puzzled me. Abraham Hicks states that there is nothing you cannot be, do, or have, and I subscribe to that. But I found that pursuing a desire driven by ego needs is quite different from a desire driven by the heart or the soul in a quest to accomplish its soul mission. Let me give you an example. One person could desire a Porsche because it makes them feel accomplished and shows their friends and neighbors just how successful they are. In other words, their ego needs the validation. Another person could desire that same Porsche because they love the mechanics, speed, and design. In other words, they don't need the Porsche for validation. In my life, I've made it a must to distinguish between ego-based and heart or soul-based desires. When I find that a desire is driven by ego needs, I follow the teachings of the Buddha and release my attachment to and need for it. And to be honest, I'm only human, so I sometimes fail and pursue it anyway. But when I feel a desire is fueled by my heart or soul, I follow the teachings of Abraham Hicks to materialize my desire into being. And to be honest, I sometimes fail at that too. However, I have found that most desires aren't clear-cut one way or the other, but rather somewhere on the scale between ego and soul. So it is useful to dissect your desires and find out what ego needs lie beneath them and release these. Now, why would you want to release your ego-based needs and desires since, as Abraham Hicks says, you can be, do, or have them? Firstly, because they may not be beneficial to the greater good. And secondly, because I have found releasing ego-based needs and desires to be instrumental for my spiritual development and path to ascension. The invaluable truth is, to become at one with Source is to release all your ego-based needs and desires and follow your soul's desire to live your soul mission. The trick to distinguish between the two is, with every big or small decision you make, is to ask yourself the question and answer truthfully. Does this help or does this delay my soul's mission? Have a sourceful day.